Okay, this is dated June 11th, 2014. Casey Kasem's daughter, and I believe this is the Scientologist, Casey Kasem's daughter given authority to have doctors end his water, food, and medicine. And mind you, he didn't pass until years later. But having worked with elderly people, I mean, you just never know what's going on. There's the Kasem family. Los Angeles, CNN. Casey Kasem, an iconic voice of radio and television for decades, lies critically ill in a Washington state hospital. There's a Washington again. While his 3 children from his first marriage fight with their stepmother, Jane Kasem, in court, and the media for control of his final days. A Los Angeles judge reversed his own decision Wednesday. Who does that remind you guys of? Who does that remind you guys of? Even though threatening and intimidating judges is illegal or unlawful, reversed his own decision Wednesday and gave daughter, Carrie Kasem, the authority to have doctors end his infusions of water, food, and medicine. Hold on. I just wanted to check. Carrie Kasem, born Carrie H. Kasem, July 12, 1972, is an American radio host. Anyways. She hosted the nationally syndicated Sixth Sense and the Sideshow Countdown with Nikki Sixx from February 2010 to April 2014. Kasem later became a judge on Who Will Rock You, alongside Dee Snider of the heavy metal band Twisted Sister. Hold on here, you guys. Hold on a minute. Okay, this is what I wanted to get to. This is from WikiLeaks. Carrie Kasem has been a volunteer minister of the Church of Scientology and participated in the church's missionary and aid program in Haiti during 2010. Wonder how many Way to Happiness booklets that they passed out. Just had to verify that one. I'm just going to cut these ads right out, too. The court's decision today upheld our father's explicit wishes as expressed by him in his health directive. Carrie Kasem said in a statement after the hearing, she was referring to a directive her father signed in 2007, saying he would not want to be kept alive if it would result in a mere biological existence, devoid of cognitive function, with no reasonable hope for normal functioning. The public battle, always emotional and sometimes bizarre, began in October 2013 when daughters Julie and Carrie led a protest. What does that sound like, you guys? Led a protest outside of Kasem's Los Angeles mansion, holding signs demanding that their stepmom let them see their ailing father. I got like real creepy vibes from the mother. Go and look at some of her interviews. I mean, not the mother. I mean the wife. When confronted earlier this month in Washington State, a rep for one of the daughters said, Jean Kasem, this is the wife, tossed raw hamburger meat toward one of her stepchildren, saying she was throwing the meat at the dogs. The dispute is about love, right? Kasem's oldest daughters said, listen to this, you guys. Are you ready? Wait for it. Wait for it. His wife of 33 years argued. It's a lot I want to say, but I'm kind of not allowed to do that. It's about Kasem's fortune, built over 4 decades of radio and television voice work. 4 is a death number. Reaching for the stars. Kasem's voice counted down the weekly American Top 40 hits each week for nearly 4 decades in a radio show heard around the world. He voiced the cartoon character, there's a 33 again, Shaggy on Scooby-Doo cartoons for 40 years. He was the voice of the NBC television network for years. He narrated thousands of radio and television commercials during his career. He divorced his first wife when his daughters and son were young. He remarried in 1980 to Jean, a 26-year-old actress, best known for a recurring role on TV's Cheers series. Oh, who was the gal in Cheers that was a Scientologist? She's passed on now. Kirstie Alley. The couple have a daughter together, Liberty Kasem, now a 24-year-old aspiring singer. I have forgotten what all of the careers that they all have. Interesting name, Liberty. I like that name, but the irony. Kasem became the world's best-known radio host as his syndicated shows grew in popularity and distribution through the 1970s and 1980s. His famous sign-off was, "Keep your feet on the ground and keep reaching for the stars." He finally handed off his duties to Ryan Seacrest in 2004. Yeah, Ryan Seacrest was never, ever close to what Casey Kasem was. He retired from hosting and voice work in 2009, 2 years after a doctor diagnosed him with Parkinson's disease, a diagnosis that was later changed to Lewy body dementia. I don't know, it just seems very eerily similar to the Wendy Williams. Which has no cure, according to court documents. Planning for the end. After Kasem was told he had Parkinson's in 2007, he signed a document giving his oldest children authority to make his medical decisions if he should become unable to do so himself. Wouldn't that normally go to the wife? I mean, of course, as you start to get older, you realize, I don't know, that seems a little strange to me, but Maybe he trusted them. I mean, I don't know. The power of attorney statement signed by Kasem on November 11th, 2007, I think that's Veterans Day, included a declaration that he did not want to be kept alive with any form of life sustaining procedures, including nutrition and hydration, if it would result in a mere biological existence, devoid of cognitive function, with no reasonable hope of normal functioning. He didn't want to be a vegetable. This document, which snubbed Kasem's wife, there's probably more going on than we'll ever know, which snubbed Kasem's wife, set the stage for the legal battle that would erupt 6 years later as his health deteriorated. There's some similarities between Wendy Williams and this case. I mean, to me, there is. Wendy Williams was just in perfect health, and then when she tried to move her money from the bank that she had, which was a lot of money, and tried to divorce and separate from her then husband, that's when everything went downhill for her. And the bank had her, just go watch BJ Investigates. The bank, which I think is crazy, were responsible for getting Wendy Williams committed or something. I don't know, something to that effect. 6 years later, as his health deteriorated and his children accused the stepmother of shutting them out of their father's life, it would serve as a legal basis for his daughter to have doctors discontinue. This is weird. Have doctors discontinue infusions of water, food, and medicine. So according to this article, the stepmother was shutting the kids out of their father's life, or maybe they were the parasites. I don't know. I'm going to look into to see how many of them are Scientologists as well. We know one is a Scientologist. Let Casey see his kids. Something's not adding up. I'm going to go back here. So the kids are saying that the stepmother is shutting them out of his life, which is very possible. One, you're elderly, you've got a very serious disease. That's when the piranhas come. But then on the other hand, the kids want to, or the daughter, I should say, daughter wants to have the infusions of water, food, and medicine stop. But, there's, what is it called? Quality of life too. So, okay, let Casey see his kids. They're all adults, by the way. They're not little children. But I do understand that thought. If this is true, I don't know what's true and what's not. What I do know is that the daughter got a bill. I have to go look into it, but she got a bill started to help adult children. I forget exactly, but it had to do with don't allow elderly parents to be completely isolated from their adult children. Well, I'll have to go look into that one. But it got approved in several states. Kasem's oldest daughters took to the streets of the exclusive Holmby Hills community in early October 2013 to publicly demand that their stepmother allow them to see their father. It's possible the wife was protecting Kasem, but I got really bad vibes from her. Carrie Kasem, that's the Scientologist, I believe, told reporters that Gene Kasem had kept them away for the previous 3 months, and she was worried about his health. Imagine what Scientology might do thinking about all of that money. You know what I mean? So it's kind of hard to sift out what's real and what's coercion and what's in Kasem's best interest. There were some doctor statements, but we know how those can be. We know how Scientology can pressure people, etc. I don't get it. I don't understand it, she told CNN. He has Parkinson's. And all the research we've done indicates socialization would help him. The wife did some really questionable things, in my opinion. About a dozen people who said they were friends of Kasem joined the daughters in the sign-waving demonstration at the entrance to the Kasem estate. Let Casey see his kids. One sign read, I'd like to know who those friends were. His younger brother, Munir Kasem, flew to Los Angeles from Michigan to hold a sign that read, I miss my brother. Doesn't this remind you of Scientology? I mean, just like the separating families and stuff. He can't really speak, but he knows we're there, Carrie Kasem told a TV reporter covering the protest. Again, that's a Scientologist. And last time we saw him, he could shuffle a little bit. He had a very hard time walking. He was just deteriorating due to Parkinson's disease. Parkinson's is an awful, awful disease. I've seen what it does to people. Daughter Julie Kasem and her husband, a cardiologist, filed a petition in court days later asking a judge, the one with no name, to give them control of Kasem's medical care. Los Angeles County Superior Judge Leslie Green appointed an investigator to report on Kasem's condition. The judge ruled in November that he was being well cared for by his wife and denied the daughter's request for a medical conservatorship. The thing that just sticks out in my mind, though, and we don't know because we weren't there, what sticks out in my mind is that Kasem allegedly wanted his children to be his health power of attorney. I think that's what that was, in charge of his medical decisions. Unless he was signed that under duress, if you guys know what I mean. Jane Kasem's lawyer defended her decision to keep the stepchildren away in a court filing in November. Now, mind you, Kasem went on to live for a few more years, I believe. For reasons they know all too well, their presence at this stage would be toxic and extremely distressing for Casey. Jean and their daughter, Liberty, who have had enough of their cruelty. Well, it's very Scientologist. Julie and her brother, Mike Kasem, reached a confidential agreement with their stepmother in December that allowed them to visit their father, although Carrie Kasem refused. She talked to CNN Piers Morgan in December about the dispute. It's like, take the person that you love most on earth, know that they're sick, know they want to see you, you get 20 minutes with them before being ripped away by an armed guard and having them say, please stay, and you can't. Honestly, like, I don't know them personally, but just based on a lot of these, what I'm reading, I just wonder who really did love Casey Kasem. You know what I mean? It does seem like there was some love there. Carrie Kasem started the Kasem Cares Foundation with the goal of supporting visitation rights of adult children with an ailing parent. Well, that's one thing she did. Casey Kasem missing. The Kasem family feud took a bizarre twist in May when Carrie Kasem accused her stepmother of removing her father from a Santa Monica nursing home and leaving the country. I mean, think about like an elderly person in really poor health. I think Casey Kasem spent the majority of his adult life in Los Angeles. And then his wife decides to move him all the way across the country. But what if the wife and Casey Kasem were being fair gamed? It's just a question. It's legal to ask a question. Her father from a Santa Monica nursing home and leaving the country, or at least California, to avoid a court order giving Carrie Kasem control over his medical decisions. It's interesting that it's a Scientologist, though, right? I mean, I don't know Carrie Kasem personally, but I'm just saying. I believe my father's wife fled the country or possibly went to an Indian reservation. Maybe the wife just wants to get away from him. With my dad, because she knew I would win in court today. Who else tends to win in court a lot? Money talks. Go watch that. Go watch the unveiled regarding La Luz del Mundo. You guys will you'll go off. Carrie Kasem said in a Facebook post, the judge ordered Adult Protective Services, the PVP attorney, and the police to look for him. Please pray that he is safe. I mean, I got mixed feelings about this one. Adult Protective Services can never get up there to help the elderly Scientologists. And me personally, I don't think all those elderly Scientologists need help. Let them just get their karma. And then, let's see, the PVB attorney, who has lots of attorneys, Scientology, and we all know that they're buddy-buddy with the cops. Or it could be a daughter who really was concerned. I don't know. I wasn't there, like BJ always says. His daughters filed a missing persons report with police. We all know that the missing person reports for the Scientologists in the blue buildings and the other buildings, nothing ever happens there, does it? missing persons report with police triggering an interstate lookout for Kasem. Sheriff's deputies in Kitsap County, Washington, located him at a friend's home there a day later. See, this is my question, and then I'm going to finish reading this. You've got Casey Kasem. He's up in years. I don't know how old he is at this point. He's frail. He's got Parkinson's disease, allegedly. Why would you be moving him all over the place? That's just not good for people. So that's what I think about. Located him at a friend's home there a day later. After staying 40 minutes and determining that Kasem was alert, not in distress, and was receiving appropriate care, the deputies left. How did deputies know if somebody's getting the appropriate care? You can put on like a show. And I'm not no shade to the deputies, but it would require doctors and nurses, people that have medical training, to go in and see if he's really getting the care that he needs, in my humble opinion. Los Angeles County Superior Judge Daniel Murphy, very Irish, Daniel Murphy temporarily expanded Carrie Kasem's powers over her ailing father at a May 24th hearing. The judge also said that the famed radio countdown host cannot travel anywhere without a court order. I mean, did Casey have a say in anything? You guys see this? They're treating him like a pawn and he's still alive. The judge also said that the famed radio countdown host cannot travel anywhere without a court order, and until the doctor examines him. I wonder which doctor that is. Don't you guys wonder? They're from the, what's that famed hospital out there in LA? The ones that all the celebrities go to. Hint, hint. Until the doctor examines him and gives him clearance for a journey. See how they just take people's liberties away? And his daughter's name is Liberty. The court spokeswoman said, go watch the documentary. I believe it was on Netflix. I watched it. Really sad. But it always depends on who's telling the story, you know? You don't really know who's telling the truth. Shame on these children. Jean Kasem faced off with her stepchildren in a Kitsap County court on May 30th, a hearing that ended with Carrie Kasem getting a judge's approval to visit her father for an hour. It's enough time to twist his arm about something. I mean, if that's how she is. The judge also gave Carrie Kasem authority to take him to a doctor. Do you guys wonder which doctor that is? Since Carrie is a Scientologist. I'm not going to say anything much, except that I'm happy with how the court proceedings went today, she said. Shame on these children, Jean Kasem told reporters after the hearing. She then played an audio recording of what sounded like a groaning man, saying the moaning came from her husband when he heard about the court activity. He's crying, she said. Go watch some of her interviews. She reminded me of Priscilla Presley. These men need to watch out who they marry, man, I'm telling you. Meat for the dogs. Jean Kasem's anger at her stepchildren boiled over as paramedics arrived at the home in Western Washington, where she and her husband were staying, to carry him to a hospital on June 1st. She initially appeared to refuse to let paramedics into the home, a video showed. I mean, and then on the one hand, they're like invading their privacy and space as well. I mean, you just don't know who's legit here. I don't. As her ailing husband was loaded into an ambulance, she stormed down a driveway and tossed a package of hamburger meat near Carrie Kasem. While referring to King David of the Bible, she said she was throwing the meat at the dogs. Carrie Kasem's rep provided cell phone video of the incident to CNN. Don't you guys wonder if Carrie was bull baiting? Don't you guys wonder that? Like they like to bait people? Kasem was admitted to St. Anthony Hospital, where he was treated with antibiotics through IVs, blood pressure support, medicine, and care for his bed sores, which is very common. But me personally, I wonder how bad the bed sores were. I'll bet Amy would be interested as well. Hospital spokesman Scott Thompson said his condition was listed as critical. I mean, it could have been that he was critical before then. I mean, maybe the daughter really did care and wanted to get him out of there. It's just, with that much money, it's hard for me to tell. Gene Kasem's lawyer filed a declaration in the Kitsap County Court on June 4th, attacking Carrie Kasem, claiming she is a member of the Church of Scientology. The daughter's rep denied she has ever been a Scientologist, which right there, that's a lie. Just go on the internet and you'll see. They like to distance themselves. But also too, I'm thinking, could they have been harassing the wife, nonstop? And just because Kasem was deemed critical doesn't mean he was not critical before this. He's a sickly man. Preparing to say goodbye. All of Kasem's children, his brother and his wife, gathered at St. Anthony's Hospital on Friday, preparing to say goodbye. Kasem won't be with us much longer, said Danny Duraney, the rep for Carrie Kasem. It's a Scientologist again. Despite their bitter squabble, Carrie Kasem said the children from his first marriage wanted their stepmother and half-sister to be with them as it seemed his last moments were nearing. If he opens his eyes, I want my dad just once to see everyone standing around him, putting our differences aside, and let him know how much he is loved by everyone, including Jean and Liberty, she said. Any family unity was shattered by Monday when Gene Kasem appeared in a Los Angeles court to ask a judge to order Kasem's doctors to resume his water, nutrition, and medication infusions. The judge agreed. That to me is a point for Gene. That's a point for Gene. So the daughter's sitting there saying it's his final moments and let's have unity. But then the wife goes in and she's like, Judge, we need to get him back on his water and his food. That's like a huge point to me. Her lawyer accused Kasem's daughter of trying to hasten her father's death by having the infusion stopped. Facts. That's what I think. Over the weekend. See, to me, I don't know, like, you don't want someone to suffer needlessly, But if there's like a chance for a little more quality life, you want them to have it. Her lawyer accused Kasem's daughter of trying to hasten her father's death by having the infusion stopped over the weekend. Attorney Steve Haney called Carrie Kasem a godless woman. I'm just saying. Who said her motive for speeding up her father's death was financial. Carrie Kasem could cash in immediately on her share of a $2 million life insurance policy when he dies, he said. Also, that I believe there was a huge estate. Carrie Kasem was in Washington with her father Monday and not at the hearing, but her lawyer defended her. I think Carrie has conducted herself in a way that demonstrates she's solely concerned about the health of her father, attorney Troy Martin said. I mean, words are just words, aren't they? Murphy reconsidered his decision at a hearing Wednesday. He restored Carrie Kasem's authority to have doctors remove her father's water, food, and medicine infusions. He said his decision was based on a review of Kasem's medical records. So now judges have like a medical... Judges are like doctors as well? For the last 11 days, our father has been surrounded day and night. See, this seems too flowery to me. It seems too flowery. For the last 11 days, our father has been surrounded day and night by love and care, by his daughters, Carrie and Julie, his son, Mike, his brother, Munir, and sister-in-law, Mary, and his dear friend, Gonzalo Vencia. Carrie's rep said in a statement to CNN Wednesday, "We continue to hope that Gene and Liberty will come join his family during this time." See how she tried to get that dig in? We don't know what the wife and the daughter were going through. So I will leave a link in the description box. Like and subscribe if you choose. Otherwise, have an amazing day or night wherever you are. Peace.